Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Boimler loses a shuttlecraft and a Klingon, all while starting a bar fight and almost getting impregnated. Rutherford and Tendi get to check out a Pulsar, but first, he has some bad bedside manner and takes out all of the children at once with the Janeway Maneuver. Then, it's a world without buffer time, and Mariner gets it in the foot.
If you ever come on board this ship and kidnap one of my members again, especially Heather, there will be hell to pay. Now, you need to get off my ship or you'll find out exactly why this ship has the reputation it has.
Captain, we're live. We're on the air.
Oh,
we got a show to do.
Thank you. Hey, good day, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you are. Thank you for rejoining us here at Starfleet Underground. I am Captain Adams. Oh, real rank was Admiral, but I'm captain on board this vessel because, we love exploring the Delta Quadrant. We have our whole crew together here. We have Heather.
Oh, man, thank you so much for saving me, dude. Those people are nuts. You should have seen what they did to our guest. Oh, by the way, we don't have a guest today.
Oh. I wish I didn't know that before I let them go. Oh, wow. I guess we got to get another synth body again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick,
half the cast of that one show is all synth now. I can't believe it.
Seriously. Oh, my God. Patrick, reach out to them. Let them know we're coming by for another redo here.
I will.
Thank you very much. And how are you, Heather? Are you okay? I haven't had a chance to examine you. EHM hasn't given me a full report yet. How you doing?
I'm okay. I think I'm here all in one piece, although they might have done some anal probing. But other than that, I'm good.
Whoa.
Other than that, I'm totally cool.
But you like that, so what's the big deal?
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Now that you mention that, Patrick's going to sit where you were kidnapped and wait. Great. Speaking of which, Patrick is our next crew member.
Mm-hmm. After that comment, I may not be. Yep. No, I'm number one. I'm the Alta computer guy, and I'm your liaison to alien species across the galaxy.
And we have the one person that keeps this ship running, even though it's extremely high tech, even by Federation standards. We could not get this ship moving as well as it does. I mean, we know enough to be dangerous, and that's Rocky. Hey, Rocky.
Hello. I was checking out these, we had the replicator that kept spitting out the hot bananas. I got a hot banana split. It was so good. I could not believe it. I'm going to try this more often now.
Oh my God. That's
what you're calling it now?
Well, hot banana split Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, actually.
With a little extra cream.
Oh, no.
I ain't going to touch that.
Ice cream. Extra ice cream.
Oh.
Sorry.
So that why I walked by your quarters, I kept hearing 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, 4, 5 banana, 6 banana, more.
Ooh, creamy.
You got that wrong. You got that wrong. It's 7 banana whore.
Oh.
7 banana. We're starting off on a real good foot today.
You can just taste the show.
It's Heather's fault. She brought up the anal stuff, so
Yeah, it's always my fault. I'll take responsibility.
Okay. My mind just went someplace else. I'm going to behave real quick.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna behave. Well, today's show is brought to you by Section 31. They denied us one of their fancy ships, but that's okay. They still keep us going out here in the Delta Quadrant, so that's a good thing. We got any corrections?
Oh goodness. So technically, I think we're good. But when I was doing the snippets earlier in the week, we did the one snippet where we were talking about Burnham and the relationship with Spock, and how in Star Trek we typically don't see a brother-sister relationship like they have. We usually see like a father-daughter or a father-son kind of relationship. Parental, we don't usually see the siblings. And somebody from the Yum Yum podcast pointed out we forgot Rom and Quark.
Oh,
And
right.
I don't remember if we mentioned them during the show, but definitely it was not in the snippet. So
No, we did not.
And we may not mentioned Sybok and Spock, but that was that one movie. It wasn't going to bring up Sybok.
Hey, don't be dissing Sybok, man.
I like Sybok. He's cool.
Okay, I've cosplayed Sybok. That's my jam.
Yeah, he's all right.
Thanks to the Yum Yum podcast.
Yeah.
If you guys need to listen to them, please give a listen. Apparently, they pay attention real well. Okay. Anybody else has any corrections? Nope. Going on. News.
I have some news, and it's a little bit sad. 2 days ago, on the 20th, we lost actor Ben Cross, who you might know from his Oscar-winning performance in Chariots of Fire, but you would more than likely know him as Sarek in the 2009 Star Trek film. He's played Spock's father, and he passed away at home. So very, very sad.
That stinks.
He really did a good job.
Yeah, he did a wonderful job of portraying Sarek.
He really did. And you saw compassion. You saw the intelligence. Really, that, wow.
Yeah, I remember there was like this one moment when his eyebrow kind of twitched a little bit, and you could tell there was emotion behind that. And I just remember it was very powerful. So
yeah,
we lost a great actor there.
Yes, we have. Heather, do you have any news despite your being kidnapped?
Well, while I was on the alien ship, I heard a rumor that Nichelle Nichols is suffering from elder abuse, and her family launched a GoFundMe page to assist.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's a lot of information. The article's pretty long, comments from both sides. But basically, to boil it down, Nichols is reportedly suffering from dementia, and she engaged in a legal battle where it claims that she suffered from elder abuse at the hands of her manager, Gilbert Bell. And the complaint filing states multiple allegations, including financial elder abuse, intentional negligence, and infliction of emotional distress and constructive fraud. So, yeah, it's pretty long. There's a lot in here.
So far, they've raised over $88,000 for her.
Oh, wow.
Their goal is $200,000. So pony up some money, people. Come on, help out Nichelle.
Make sure you research, because I found as being a captain as well as everything else is always two sides to a coin. Make sure you research on both ends of it. You do thorough research, and please support whoever you feel is in the right on this situation. Rocky, do you have any news?
Have you guys seen Unbelievable? I watched Unbelievable.
Yeah, I did. It was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was unusual. That's you call it unusual instead of unbelievable. That was something else. One certain style of filmmaking, that's for sure.
If those of you that have not seen it, it's on Amazon Prime to buy or rent. I had it with a mango slice, so it was very entertaining. It stars almost everybody who's everybody in Star Trek.
And Snoop Dogg.
And Snoop Dogg. And
wow.
The person that's supposed to be Captain Kirk is a puppet from Team America.
Yeah.
And it's about plants trying to take over the world. So
and it's got a cinema style that is just so I mean, my goodness. Halfway through a scene, somebody turns into a plant, you just start seeing leaves appearing on. The next thing you know, the damn tree is sitting right there. It's just crazy.
It features 43 iconic Star Trek cast members.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody who's in everybody in Star Trek. You get like a bikini babe talking to someone. He turns his head, turns back. There's a plant with a bikini on it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely wild and bizarre.
If you're not high while you're watching it, you're going to feel high by the end of watching it.
Especially with Snoop in there.
I just love the part where they popped in the little bubbles of Snoop and the horse when they're laughing. And that's all I need to say. If you haven't seen it, that's hilarious on its own.
Yeah, and there's a horse who's in second command. So you should see it.
It's crazy. Chase Masterson, I think, is one of the highlights.
Yeah, she's funny in it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth watching. Just going to warn you, it's bizarre.
You might want your money back after watching it.
Well, it's only $3.99.
Yeah,
so.
it's not that big of a deal.
No, but it's definitely
mildly.
worth
It's
seeing.
definitely, if you want to kill an evening and be slightly entertained, that's probably a good one to do it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up because I totally forgot I watched that. So
Well, yeah, it came out
you.
a couple of weeks ago, but I was just like, I hadn't had a chance to see it, and then I got a chance, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just seeing Harry Kim scared of flying is hysterical.
Oh man, him and the Tuvok scenes are just the seatbelts in the control room.
Yeah.
Just like, my God.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I know we should continue on.
Yeah.
No. I'm adding this to my list right now. What was the name of it?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And where do you find
Yeah,
it?
and when you finish
It's on
watching it, you
Amazon.
will sit back and you will go, "Wow, that was unbelievable."
Yeah, that's all you have to say after you watch the thing.
Okay, got it.
Oh,
I'll watch
actually,
it.
I did find one other thing here. So there's TOS, TNG, and DS9 stars line up for 5 GalaxyCon virtual Trek events over the next 5 weeks. August 23rd is Will Wheaton. August 29th is William Shatner with Henry Winkler. August 30th is Deep Space Nine, and that will be Armin Shimmerman, Nana Visitor, Alexander Siddig, Andy Robinson, Terry Farrell, Chase Masterson. Then September 19th and 20th, we have 2 Next Generation events starring Jonathan Frakes, John Delancey, Gates McFadden. On the first one, Marina Sirtis, Brent Spiner, and Denise Crosby on the second one. And then on the 26th, there's one with Tim Russ and Garrett Wang. And September 12th, there's a awesome Star Trek Voyager one with got Garrett Wang. Yeah, so there's some Trek cons.
Send a link over to Rocky at his engineering thing, and he'll put it on the tag thing of the show where you found that, provided it's not over by the time this gets out to Earth.
Yeah, GalaxyCon's popping. They got all the good stuff.
But I
cool.
am grateful that, 1, we got our science officer back. 2, I have outstanding coffee. And 3, I don't have to get the synopsis. So, Heather, take it away.
Yes, sir. So reporting for duty captain. First episode is Star Trek Lower Decks Season 1, Episode 2, called Envoys. It premiered on August 13th, 2020 on CBS All Access. Now, just some quick information about the show before we go into it. This is the first time one character has worn all 3 colors in one episode. So that's a major one. And the second one is there were a lot of alien species in this episode. Ferengi, Loren, which was Morn, Ariolo, I'm going to butcher all of these names, Arcturians, and Vendorians, which was this shapeshifter. So lots and lots of characters. Now we're going to do something a little different than last week. We're not going to do a entire episode summary. Instead, we're going to go into each section and talk about each section. So the first section is the teaser. One Wish, a transdimensional sentient energy spear, tries to take over the world, or at least the ship, but instead runs into Mariner. She captures him. He grants her a wish if she'll let him go. Mariner asks for a fancy new tricorder with a purple stripe and batteries. And the spear uses all of his energy to make her that, leaving him to shrink to the size of a thimble. Now that the evil spear is free, it attacks the captain, and it is so small it disintegrates into a puff of smoke. Captain hardly notices, and she tries to pick a new catchphrase. It's warp time. Now, what would you guys choose as your catchphrase?
Supplicate yourselves. So that was just a great line. That's a great introduction to a character like that. It was so funny.
Yeah.
What would be a good catchphrase?
Pike has hit it, and then Picard has engage.
I would probably say mine would be like, kick it.
Yeah, I like that one. That
I'd
one's
say,
cool.
do it.
Do it. You can do it.
Do it.
I'd be like, let's roll.
That's Ransom's.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, mine is, and I would say on the show, is let's get this done.
Yeah, let's get this done.
Let's get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. If your replicator spits out hot bananas, you might be on a starship.
No, that's the other guy. That's Foxworthy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's your
Jeff
sign.
Foxworthy.
Yeah.
You might be a space cadet if.
Yeah.
Seriously. That was a good little opening scene. It was. And I thought it was funny when she says, what? No batteries? But the power cell will. Come on, man. Give me the battery.
Yeah, but she killed a sentient life.
She didn't kill him.
She was trying to stuff him into a container. He didn't want to go in there.
She basically killed him by making him use up almost all his energy.
We don't know he's actually gone. He's just like really tiny.
Uh-huh.
You know, and the fact that he came on saying that he was going to destroy everyone, and while he's mambling his diatribe, she just grabs him and tries to stuff him into. I mean, if he couldn't get out of a chokehold, he couldn't be that powerful to begin with.
I shall make you a feast of your misery, or whatever. It's just like, oh, don't put me in the pod. No, hold on. I love that. That's just great.
If he's a transdimensional being, he should be able to slip through her hands.
Right, right.
So it was funny.
Yeah.
So.
And Tendi, she's like, should we be doing that? Isn't he like, alive?
Sentient, yeah.
Sentient?
I want to see the scene where she argues with Lieutenant. Just for entertainment.
Cool.
So, going on to the next section, which is Act 1, the away mission. You have storyline.
Wait 1 second.
Okay.
Do I hear paper?
Yes.
Is that paper?
Yes, you're going to hear paper.
I don't hear anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
What happened to that new pad I assigned you?
I still have it, I swear.
Uh-huh.
It's right next to me.
She sold it for Romulan whiskey.
Hey, I didn't sell it. That was an accident. I couldn't help that it fell in there.
You better not have traded it to that Ferengi the last time we stopped off for shore leave.
No, I was eating food and it fell in my bowl of cereal and it's short-circuited.
Okay, I'll forgive you using paper then. Okay, continue.
That's a likely excuse. Mm-hmm. We're in the 24th century, and your pad's gonna short circuit out from milk.
Well, hey, at least she still knows how to use a pen and paper. Okay, I hold the thing like I'm spastic.
Yeah, and it was spider milk
without typing. So here's that.
Spider milk has a magnetic energy, and it's short circuited because of the magnets. So there.
Right. Okay. I didn't need to interrupt. So what's the next section?
Okay, so Act 1 is the away mission. We're doing storyline A. In this episode, Brad and Mariner are assigned on an away mission to Uber General Corinne to the peace accords at the Federation Embassy. Brad is upset that Mariner hijacked the away mission and made him co-pilot. When they pick up Corinne, Mariner attacks him, completely freaking out Brad, but it ends up that they are friends, aka blood bonded. As they are driving, they make a slight detour to get some hot worms to go. However, when they arrive at the planet, a drunk Corinne steals the shuttle, leaving them stranded. On storyline B, after forgetting their date, Rutherford consoles an upset Tendi by suggesting that he quit his job so that way he can make it. Tendi loves this idea and happily hugs him. Now Rutherford's mission is to find a new career. First things first, quit engineering.
Well, I found that Marin doesn't listen as well as some of you guys do, because in that shuttlecraft, other than playing with the blast shield, there was food all over the counter. I mean, ramen, everything. I mean, what the hell? You don't spill food, even though it's a touch panel. You don't want to introduce liquid to equipment.
Yeah, Mariner doesn't follow the rules.
She doesn't follow the rules, and then she leaves your shuttlecraft all sticky with the broth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously, but we know where she got the bat lift from, because that guy had an eye patch.
Yes.
Yep, same guy.
She goes back a long time with that guy.
Well, apparently they've shared some insectoid aliens that get up your butt.
That was a funny line.
Yeah,
you got those in his butt. He got his ass chewed up.
And when they first start off and she's asleep and she's like talking in her sleep, she's actually saying, buried alive, marooned for all eternity. This is what Khan said when he left Kirk on Regula, referring to Star Trek II Wrath of Khan.
Buried alive.
Buried alive.
Buried alive. Oh, yes. That's one of my favorite lines in a whole speech. Oh, gosh.
Nice throwback there.
Yes. I loved it just at the beginning of the whole act. They're sitting there and they're watching fail videos. I mean, that was kind of funny. That's what I'd like to do sometimes. Just, the guy who falls off the stage. Oh, my God, that's hilarious. It sucks to be him, but it's hilarious,
I might have got my ass chewed out, but he got his ass chewed up.
That's line, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, what about Rutherford when he's like going through, the other jobs, and when he tries to become part of the bridge crew and he's got to do the holodeck simulations, and it's a complete moron. I mean, it's like total Kobayashi Maru. He just cannot cannot do it.
Is that the next scene? That's the next act, right?
Yeah, but that's okay.
But I love Rutherford. I love the guy so much. I think I'm just like him. I mean, who else would be stupid enough to, I'm going to go change jobs to go hang out with a girl? I've done that. That is really a stupid thing to do. And he doesn't do it just once. He goes like 3 different jobs to figure it out. It's
is that how you got into engineering?
That's how you get stuck on the engineering on a certain ship. Yeah.
That's how you got into engineering.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, that's how I get stuck at the college I went to. A girl convinced me she didn't want to go to college by herself at a new place. So she convinced me to apply to the same college.
All it takes is a friendly face to smile at you just the right way. And next thing you know,
Oh, you heterosexual cis males.
And then when I got to the college, she basically ignored me the whole time I was there.
Oh.
Well, I would too if you were that stupid.
Yeah, I actually was back then.
That's so harsh.
I was a skinny nerd kid. Everybody had their hair done, and I had Angela Davis' big ass afro. So there was that.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, next.
So one of the things I liked in this was when they had all of the liquid on the dashboard and they throw the knife on there and Brad shocks his fingers trying to, touch it and everything. He's like, oh, man, it hurt. Shoot.
There's all that plasma energy behind the control console. You just don't toss a knife in one of those things.
Right. And then the other thing was when Mariner meets up with the Klingon, she's like, yeah, we did some off the, books gray ops back in the day. And Brad's like, we're the same age. Back in what day? Like, when was that?
Come, let me tell you about all of my sexual conquests. And it's like, what, 2 of them?
Yeah.
All 2 of them. And then she gets on the shield and she's like, it's a blast shield. It's a blast shield. It's a blast shield. It comes up and it goes down. Blast shield.
Well, before that, though, before they got on the away mission, they were talking. Brad said he got the mission and he mentioned it was with General Corinne. And Tendi was like, why does that sound familiar? And Mariner's like, that's because all Klingon names have an apostrophe.
That's why Worf is such an anomaly.
Right?
Yeah, his name doesn't start with a K and it doesn't have an apostrophe in it. And he's kind of sensitive. And
mind blown.
Seriously.
Totally.
Little Easter eggs that you find.
Oh, I love it. And they have the best lines in here. I mean, the writing in this is so freaking funny. Calm down, man. If we can't have you co-flying angry, I need you co-calm. Co-calm.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Oh my God, I love it. It's so freaking funny.
They have a lot of good one-liners and references to, other Star Trek shows or events or people. It's really good. It's really well done. Good writing.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have we segued into the next section so I can talk about the...
Yes, let us go into the next section.
Okay.
So, Act 2, The Search. Storyline 8, Brad and Mariner are searching for Corinne at the Klingon Worms to Go restaurant. Ends up that after eating a hearty bowl of worms, he went north to find stronger ale. As they head north, they bump into Taxor, a teen, and steal his money. And then Anabaj flirts with Brad, trying to kiss him so she could lay eggs in his throat. She fails, and they finally arrive at the Andorian bar just in time to see an old man being picked on, starting a fight, and Brad rushes in to save him, which he ends up saving a shape-shifting thief. Now everyone is pissed off, which starts a massive bar fight. In storyline B, Rutherford quits engineering and searches for a new career starting with command. On the holodeck, number 1 runs 2 command simulations. Both finish horribly, ending his short-lived career. Next is sickbay, where even though he has a knack for fixing bodies, his bedside manner is lacking, and this is coming from a cat who calls her patient worthless in the last episode. Now, he might as well be in security. So he goes to security. In security, Shax loads up the smorgasbord, I love that, simulation. Rutherford kicks ass, impressing Shax so much so that he thinks he's a natural-born warrior.
This scene had a lot of little good points in it. The first time with the fake out when he said he wanted to switch careers and the guy comes up on him, looked like he was going to be pissed off. And then he's like, yay, follow your dream. Go change.
That's what I love the most about this episode. He's like, I can't do this. I got to do something else. It's like, and they're like, well, Okay, awesome. That's awesome. We're supporting you. Go for it. They're so damn supportive in Starfleet. I love that.
Totally not the reaction you're expecting.
Cave.
Yeah, come on in. If you don't want to, look, we're welcome here. Come on, let's do this.
I was going to say, a bear cave is something totally different in my world.
Yes, the chief of security would definitely be a bear in your world.
I totally forgot what I was going to say after that. That just took over my entire mind.
Was that better? Yeah. I loved when, of course, the bridge simulations. I don't know if you caught this line. He said it real quickly. He's talking about being in command on the bridge, and he's like, nothing compares to a full hot pulse of a joystick in your hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes.
wait, did he just say that? Whoa.
Yes. He totally, I was laughing my ass off.
Now, here's some trivia for you guys. Remember when he was in the bridge simulation where they had the temporal anomaly and the guy, he couldn't figure out what to say and the ship got destroyed. And he said, well, you should have done the Janeway Maneuver. Does anybody here know what the Janeway Maneuver is?
Nope.
There isn't one.
Go into
Yeah,
the
there
nebula
is.
and search for
I
coffee.
thought they made that up.
No, there is. There is an actual Janeway Maneuver. I see. I know this because I'm captain.
It has to do with coffee, right?
But what it was is an episode where Voyager was caught with a temporal anomaly and they had the other Voyager. Every time they tried to get out of it, they would explode. So she decided to, you know what, just go for it, full impulse. Just go for it. It's hard. And it's like, it's not going to fit. It's like, I don't care. Just go full speed. And they did. And Voyager was able to make it out the anomaly.
To just shove your way through is the Janeway maneuver.
Yeah, bingo, to bring your way through, even though it wasn't the right size, to just shove your way through. And that's why the Janeway maneuver, that's
So
why he
that's
told
the
him,
right
but the
answer
next
to
time,
head toward the asteroid approaching.
well, it was not the right answer for the asteroid to rush straight forward to the asteroid.
Are you sure, sir?
No, it's really funny. I've never seen all the children get lost before.
That's when you break the simulator so hard the kids die. I mean, come on.
Right.
Oh
And
my
then number
God.
one's like freeze program in thousands of simulations. That's literally never happened before. Let's do another one with even more kids.
Yeah, definitely his Kobayashi Maru. He just did not know what to do.
No. He really froze on that.
I mean, it's
So
like
that-
saying, how bad of a score can you get on the game? Let's just try and see how hard you can crash this sucker. I want to see everybody die. Let's see what happens. Let's run another simulation.
Yeah,
Let's get
number one's all
negative
excited
score.
about it.
and don't forget Brad's speed walk, Section 31 speed walk. I didn't know Section 31 had a speed walk.
That's true. They do. I couldn't believe that.
They have this speed tiptoe too. I've seen it in my bedroom. Yep.
Oh, wow, great. And how'd you like that big ass creature with the shoulders? And he's like, my wallet, my dad's going to kill me.
Yeah.
It figures. He
That's
was a
one
total
way to,
wuss.
that's a great diversion tactic. Just grab their wallet and toss it. See you later, sucker.
I can't
Well, she
believe they
didn't
stole
toss
from
it.
a teen.
Yeah, she looked like she tossed it. She pocketed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you watch the scene closely, you see her pocket it.
Yeah, I can't believe she stole from a teenager.
He's a
It was
big teenager, though. He was being dumb, so why
Hey,
not?
growth spurts. You have to have growth spurts.
Oh, sure, why not?
Okay, real quick. There's this little kid that lives near me, and I've known him for so many years, and he is like literally the size of my kneecap. Okay, like he's a small kid. And then last year, I'm walking around the corner of the hallway, and I bump into him. The dude's freaking 6'4". I'm like, wait,
Wow.
what happened? You went from like down there. What the? It was less than a year.
That's always fun. That's the one cool thing about aging is you see how they start small, and some of them get really big.
Some of them get really big. It's
like,
like,
oh my
holy
goodness.
cow. And it's like, okay, I know that's you because it's the same face, but my God, you do not look like a kid anymore.
Yeah,
He's like,
growing
"Good
that
one."
fast is never fun, though. Trust me, I had growing pains as a kid.
Man.
And I would lie in bed at night crying because my legs hurt so bad.
We had new sets of shoes like every other month. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was not fun.
To be as a young, horny teenager, there was this girl who used to hang out with us on the block all the time, and we treated her badly. But she was basically a little girl. She must have been about 12.
Uh-oh.
Well, New York winters are very rough. So nobody ever goes out in the street in New York winters. And it was only one kid that actually treated her nice. I won't forget this. And spring came. We went outside and we see this stunningly attractive girl with a tube top and shorts on. So we go to try to talk to her and we realize it was the girl we made fun of.
Oh.
She did not give any of us the time of day. The one person that treated her nice, she went out with. And we were like, what the hell? How did that happen?
That's one of those lessons you learn the hard way.
Yeah, that's a hard lesson.
Gotta be nice.
You're not getting anything hard by that lesson.
Yes, for certain. That was definitely interesting.
Now, is there anything else you guys want to mention real quick with Act 2 before we move on to
what
Act
about
3?
the girl wearing red? I mean, how can you not avoid the girl wearing red that all of a sudden wants to make out with you? I mean,
And deposit eggs in your throat.
you want Jamaharan.
Jamaharan.
I love it when Tiana was like, sure, whatever you need to tell yourself.
Well, I like her phrase because I never wanted to mention it to you guys, but when she's like, I want a blood piece and blood wine, because it does come out that color when you drink too much blood wine.
Goodness.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you
And
turn
on
it the
that-
wrong color. Oh, boy.
On that note, we are moving on to Act 3. Act 3 for the truth. So, storyline A, Mariner stops the fight by buying everyone 5 rounds of alcohol. Later, Brad is, I know, right? Later, Brad is depressed and crying because when they are getting back, he is going to quit. He is not meant for this, and he throws the badge in the gutter. On the way back, they meet a Ferengi who tries to mug him. Brad recognizes this and stops it. He's right, and Mariner is wrong. They find the shuttlecraft with a drunk Corinne in the back. They drop him off at the Federation, leave him at the front door. At least they made it in time. But that night, Brad is in the EDR laughing and telling everyone about Mariner and the Ferengi. Mariner goes back to the bunk, FaceTimes the Ferengi, who is a friend who helped her out. Storyline B, welcomes to security. Shaq showers Rutherford with praise, but he misses the Jefferies tubes. He needs to stay true to himself, so he quits and goes back to engineering. He tells Tendi about it later on. No big deal. Tendi just wants company, so she's gonna go in the Jefferies tubes and watch it on her iPad while he works.
That was a pretty good scene. I really enjoyed the fact, one, they made the Ferengi. He really decided to act like a stereotypical Ferengi.
Huoomon.
Yeah, with the eye in the hand. Come on, give me your profits. I mean, come on.
Your profits.
Give me your profits.
Give me all your profits. I mean, really?
And then when she's talking to him later on, he has the monocle and he's like, yes, I'm more well-to-do and la la la. Freaking hilarious.
I thought that was pretty funny, but it shows that she was willing to take a hit on her reputation in order to make him feel.
This shuttle is a circle of trust. Full shit. He's like, oh, and then she did this, and then she did that. He's telling everybody. It's like, oh, thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah, but she kind of knew that he was going to do that. But the fact that she was willing to do that for him.
Yeah.
Really speaks about her character.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when he was, yes, I'm right moment. He made a freaking humping motion towards her. Did you see that? One hump, but still he humped her. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I missed it, apparently.
He did like a, I'm like, he freaking, I would have smacked him.
And I don't miss humping it very much, so.
You've got a keen eye for humping?
Right?
Yeah.
Always go right to it. Boom.
But that was such a cool moment, I think, when he's talking about he did the greedy things they do with their hands. And it was really cool. He broke the circle of trust. But to me, that was still a very touching part. It shows you more of an insight to her character, that she definitely has a lot more of her mother in her and her father than she lets on.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that much about her dad, though.
And it's not about the circle of trust. It's more about, what you're willing to do for the other person. I think that's the awesome thing about their relationship.
And remember what she said in the first episode there, Rocky, when she says, I'm going to take you under my wing and I will make you captain one day. She's basically teaching him. And I think the mother may be upset and the dad may be upset with her because she exhibits something they wish they could do. They can't be free outside the rules and regulations like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, so
cool.
I mean, that was really cool. And the coming attractions, I can't wait till we see that scene. She's like, don't do that thing with the Vulcan salute with your hands.
Yes.
Don't you give me that gang sign.
Now, one of the things I really loved in this act, too, was when Corinne was at the very front of the Federation and they open up the doors and he throws up and then asks for more alcohol. And the woman who finds him, I love this quote, "Are you fucking kidding me? No, stop that." And she kicks him. I'm laughing my fucking
That
ass
was
off.
hysterical.
When somebody just drops off a drunk Klingon at your door, what are you gonna do? I mean, you've got a drunk Klingon in front of your door. He's not gonna go away. You just gotta deal with it.
Oh, it was so
You're a
funny.
Starfleet officer, and you got to have some drunk person who's thrown up on your floor raise his hand and go, "Fetch me my drinking horn."
And grabs you as you're trying to walk away. I mean, come on.
Seriously?
Are you kidding me? No, stop that. I love that.
It was a good episode.
It
It
was.
really was. We saw a friendship between the cyborg. I will get the names eventually.
Rutherford.
And
Rutherford.
Rutherford and the Orion woman,
Tendi.
Tendi.
Cindy. And you can see he kind of likes her. And it's a slow burn relationship, which I'm enjoying watching, you know, and she's comfortable with him.
He was willing to give up the Jefferies Tube for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And then she's willing to sit in one to watch the thing.
She wants his Jefferies Tube.
Yeah. She's like, oh, you didn't just do that just to hang out with me, did you? And then she's like willing to go, I'll just watch it on my pad with you. I don't have to go see the thing. They really want to hang out with each other. And I think that's beautiful.
That was cool.
And they've gotten along, the discussions they've had with technology, like a level 2 diagnostic. Are you kidding? You know, so it's pretty cool. I like the slow burn.
Yeah.
Did we hit all the buttons on this one?
We
Yep.
hit all the buttons, I think. I'm ready to go on to the next one. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, moving on. So, next episode is Lower Deck Season 1, Episode 3, Temporal Edict. This premiered on August 20th, 2020, and we're going to start off with the teaser, which is the Mess Hall Talent Show. Brad is giving an unwanted concert to his concerned-looking crewmates on a glass violin. Mariner and Tendi come in and start rocking out with some heavy metal. The bass could be heard throughout the entire ship, as well as the neighboring Klingon ship, which interrupts Captain Freeman's call. She sends sax to stop whatever is making that racket. Mariner and Tendi finish with a grand finale of a guitar smash. Brad takes their place and starts playing the violin again. Shax rushes in and breaks the violin, complaining about the noise.
That was a I'm not a merry man moment.
That's true.
He was dancing too.
You know, Boimler writes too much about his mom, though. That's right. The first song
Oh
he was
my
playing,
God.
he's writing about it, and he's not really that good. I mean, he's a little out of tune. He's got no sense of rhythm.
Just a tad.
Yeah,
Little white boy.
White boy.
We still ain't got rhythm in the 21st century.
Yep.
We never got that DNA.
You know, he was definitely a legend in his own mind with that violin.
Oh my God. What about the blue flying V that Mariner had? That was sick. I love that guitar.
Yeah.
That was cool.
She just smashed it and left, and
Yeah.
just before her luck.
You know,
Her luck
that's the
is
thing about you can just replicate a new instrument. I mean, if you have a beautiful sounding and looking instrument like that, you just don't want to that's not the instrument you want to destroy. You want to go get the cheap one and destroy it. But yeah, I mean, in the 24th century, you just, replicate another instrument and you're good to go. So let's smash it.
That's true. That was funny though.
Right.
What is the meaning of this intense bass? Are you mocking me?
No, it must be on your side. Kill the engineer.
Yeah, Klingon engineer Canuck, today you die.
You die! I'm just like, what? What did I do?
Yeah, like, oh shit, I swear it's not me.
Oh man, that poor engineer is like, if you think it's hard being an engineer on our ship, be an engineer on a Klingon ship. Those poor guys, man, they got nobody kicking up for them. Then everyone's picking on them, and you smash a button once the wrong way, and somebody blames you. And just
it's a good day
I
to
just
die.
have to say, I'm really glad we have our captain, because thank God our captain is a good captain, because he doesn't give a shit.
No, I would never let you guys take the blame on something like that. Or if another ship did something and it was on our side, I would let them know that it's something we need to knock down on our side.
Thank you, Captain. We love you.
Of course. Well, that's why I went and got you back. So
That's not what he said last week.
That's not a problem.
Last week he was ready to give up the ghost, so
Yeah, I got a new mission for you after this podcast there, Patrick. So we're going to talk about that.
To go where no man has gone before. I've already been there.
I believe that.
Watch out, we're going to be hearing some bass later on.
Right?
Boom, baby.
Beating that drum.
Beating something.
What's I don't know where we are on the scene. Did we get to the part where nobody doesn't like Cardassians?
I think that is the next act.
Okay,
you guys want to go to the next act?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
moving on. So we are going to act number 1, which is buffer time. After losing the peace negotiations mission, a pissed Captain Freeman doesn't think Starfleet takes them seriously. And the reason why is because the crew is full of slackers. Speaking of which, our slackers, I mean heroes, are drinking margaritas and explaining to Tendi how buffer time works. However long something takes, multiply it by 4, so that way when you finish early, you look like a genius. During an unfortunate meetup, Brad tells the captain about buffer time, and the captain takes it away. A week later, the crew is overworked, irritable, and everyone except Brad, who is thriving. Number 1 takes Mariner on an away mission to deliver a crystal, but due to burnout, the boxes are mixed up, and they give them wood instead. This insult is an act of war, I don't blame them, and the crew is attacked and captured.
Okay, so when I'm jumping a little ahead in the scene, but when they're loading the shuttle pod to go down to the planet's surface, and Ransom is talking, he goes, and spores that make you hook up with your best friend's sister.
Shit happens.
I was like, okay.
Well, that actually happened. He was referring to something that happened in an earlier episode.
What?
You guys didn't know that?
Huh. Well, that's interesting. But then when they get down to the planet surface and they go to show them the crystal, one of the Gelrakians goes, he's got wood. He's got wood.
That was funny.
I was like, okay, we're getting a little, penis jokes in there.
Now, when they mention meeting the horned gorillas, the sentient tar, and the spores that make you hook up with your best friend's sisters, these are all references to threats encountered in episodes in the previous series. A horned gorilla refers to Mugato, which was first seen in the original series, A Private Little War. The sentient tar is likely a reference to Armas, the malevolent entity who killed Lieutenant Natasha Yar in The Next Generation Skin of Evil. And the spores are a reference to the original series, The Side of Paradise, in which some members of the Enterprise crew were infected with spores that made them happy at the cost of their ambitions.
Okay. Well, I didn't realize that anyone's brothers and sisters were hooking up on that one episode.
Well,
but
they
yeah.
figured if they're all on board ship, it might have been the case.
So many people on that ship getting that wasted happy, and somebody's sister's best friend's going to get hooked up.
It's definitely on there.
Gotcha. So it was all references to TOS. Okay.
And well, no, that was a TNG. Actually, it was both TNG and original series.
Yeah, because
they both occurred. This happened. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a episode where they were on a planet with these plant spores, and they were all happy, and even Spock got a little happy juice going on.
Well, I think that's different though, because that was the plant spores, but there was the one where they got infected by like a virus, and they came back from the station because everyone looked like they killed each other and they're crazy, and then they come back, and then the crew starts to go
that's
crazy.
The one when they were drunk.
Yeah, that's when they felt drunk, and then Next Gen did that too, and that's when Data was fully functional in multiple techniques.
Yes.
He gave Tasha Yar his spore.
Somebody got spored. Yeah.
And then also, too, did you notice in the turbolift, Brad was humming the theme song for Star Trek The Motion Picture and Star Trek The Next Generation?
Yeah, that was cool. That was a nice little thing that he did there. I did like that.
Now, they were not getting busy in that turbolift.
No. I wouldn't get busy with Brad either.
But you notice they brought up on this, and let me know if I'm jumping ahead here, but they finally put a phrase to what Scotty did all the time.
Buffer time.
Yeah.
Which was buffer time, which now that I know what that means, I thought you guys were singing like an MC Hammer thing with Hammer Time, but you were saying buffer time. Now I know what you guys meant when you talk about buffer time.
Can't touch this.
I'm
Buffer
aware.
time. Buffer time.
I'm not going to change it like the captain did. I'm not going to do that, but now I know what y'all meant about buffer time.
Don't mess with a good thing, because, when engineering's happy, things get done well and efficiently enough, and everyone keeps good morale. It's a morale boost.
Now, just for some information, they talk about the concept of buffer time in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, and The Next Generation Relics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, though, about the buffer time and how she found out. And Boimler had to go ahead and tattle. Well, Brad had to go ahead.
Somebody almost did it before him, though, too. I thought that was funny because they mentioned it in the hallway. I'm like, oh, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was that? What was that, Ensign?
It's like nothing. It's like, there goes buffer time.
It's just those guys just, casually walking, just like meandering through the corridor. Just like, hey, don't you guys have something to do?
Of course. And then at the very beginning of this, I absolutely loved it when they were testing the shield and Mariner shot at it and like Brad freaks out and she's like, calm down. She looks at the phaser and realizes it's set to kill and she changes it and she's like, it was set to stun. Yeah,
that
totally.
Was funny.
Well, he had to test the field integrity manually. So how far back was he zapped across the room? He was zapped all the way across the room. The field integrity was good.
That was pretty funny. It must be secure knowing that you have a job at a place that in order for you to die, it's like really hard to die because they got you covered on everything,
So Act 2, Attack. Storyline A, even the bridge is affected by the burnout, forcing the captain to do everybody else's job as the Gelrakians attack the ship and graffiti everything. Brad is the only one getting work done and successfully stunning the Gelrakians. When he gets to the bridge, he realizes how bad it's gotten. The captain, on the other hand, thinks Brad is being lazy for not being at his post. Storyline B, Mariner and Number 1 are locked in a cell together. They have to prove their innocence with a trial by combat. If they win, they are free. If they lose, they die. Number 1 tears off his shirt, goes Rambo, and battles the giant with only his hands. Mariner is impressed and slightly turned on. Okay, go for it.
Okay, so actually, before they end up in the brig, when they're fighting the Gelrakians, and then after Ransom gets they hit him in the nuts with something and they electrocute him.
Yeah, that was awesome,
right? and then Mariner's like she goes surrounded by spears. This is classic. What am I, Kirk? Is this the 2260s? All right.
Yeah, all right.
That was pretty funny.
And then Ensign Vendome was like, I'm going to die here on this planet. She's like, we live on a spaceship. No one's dying from a spear wound.
That was pretty funny. And in the fact that they wanted to fight each other to see who has the honor of fighting. And I really thought that he was going to get his ass kicked. It is like, oh, dude, you're going to. But he does the Kirk hands. He does the Kirk Fu. That was pretty wild. I never thought that would be an effective way of fighting. It shows you looks are deceiving.
It can work.
It's like, I'm just a big brute. I'm not really that way. I talk that way so they don't make me do things.
Yeah, and he's like, I like to read.
I like reading.
He's like, I love to read. That was really funny.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Yeah, but you show they have a little bit of respect for each other now.
I think there's a little bit of there's some.
I think you're right.
There's some chemistry going on there.
Well, you want to get a girl's attention, just stab her in the foot.
Right?
But isn't that, I mean, how old is she? Like, I'm trying to figure out how old she is.
Well, they never established that.
Right,
Yeah.
but she's the youngest one on the ship. I know that, but she's old enough to drink.
You got to figure she's got to be.
So
in
that
her,
would put her in her 20s.
Yeah, I was going to say
Like
she's got to be in her
21,
20s.
I would say if she's probably barely under 30. I think she's got some time to have experience, but not totally.
Under 25.
Has the drinking age changed in this timeline, or are we still at
point.
21? So,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true.
18.
Yeah, they probably just hand it out when you get into elementary school.
But no, she's definitely got the hots for him, because when he's fighting Vindor, they flash back to her in the cage and she goes, so ethical.
Yep. And she's all biting her lip and everything.
Yeah, she's got the hots for him. And then after, when she's in, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead here, but when they're in sick bay and she's like, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to bathe in your blood. And he's like, wow, that's so hot.
Right, yeah.
So it's a mutual thing.
Everyone's got their little moments. Yeah.
Now, but wouldn't the captain kill number one? Like if he dated her daughter?
Hey, what she doesn't know won't hurt her.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know that that's the daughter either.
He doesn't know?
That's true.
No,
that's their little secret.
Nobody else knows. That's the secret
their little
between
secret.
the admiral and them.
Oh.
And they're gonna throw her in the brig. She likes it in the brig. Yeah.
And that phrase, like you were saying, Pat, that's the perfect Klingon phrase. You can see she's had influence. It's like, I'm going to dance in your blood. It's like, that's strangely hot.
Yeah.
The things that turn you on.
Oh my God.
Bathing in someone's blood. Yeah.
It was so funny.
But the ending, oh my God, I laughed so hard at the ending where they went, how many years in the future, Heather?
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
You're moving ahead.
Yeah, that is the ending. Yeah.
Then never mind. I am backing up. It's a good thing I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Okay. Where are we? We're at
The
Act 3.
sex charm of our enemies.
Okay.
It's like, at least we don't worship wood.
Speak for yourself.
So moving on to Act 3, the Boimler Effect. In storyline A, Captain Freeman is wallowing in a pit of despair when Brad gives her an inspiring speech about how humans need buffer time. Captain agrees, turn off the timers, tells the crew the buffer time is back. Now do what you need to do to get this ship back from the Gelrakians. The newly
Gelrakians.
Okay, fine. You say it better than me. The newly inspired crew kicks ass, and the Gelrakians retreat.
They're not
Storyline.
Gelrakians. They're Gelrakians.
I thought I
Gelrakians.
said it right that time.
Sorry.
Gelrakians.
I'm giving you a hard time.
So it's like gal and rack.
Hey, there you go.
There you
Okay,
go.
so checking out the gel racks. Got it. So storyline B, number one kicks Vindor's ass, and then the away team is released. The two storylines merge together, and the Gelrakians are back on the planet, and
sounded rude.
Shax is presenting their real present, a crystal. Sorries are exchanged. Back on the ship, the crew is cleaning up, and Mariner's foot is healing. After talking hot and heavy with number one, Mariner gets thrown into the brig for her sleeves. Captain Freeman awards Brad with a plaque. He has a new rule named after him, the Boimler Effect. It's about how the crew should cut corners, not follow rules, and employ buffer time. In the future, he's known as the laziest crewman ever because of this. Okay, and then Nathan, what were you saying about...
I thought that was so funny because he is like the most efficient person and he gets known in the future of being the laziest. And they talk about the most important person in the galaxy is Miles O'Brien.
Hey, that's true. That's true. I love Miles O'Brien. He is totally the best chief in history.
But did you notice the statue of Boimler, and he had the eagle on his shoulder, the great bird of the galaxy?
That's right.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was a call to the great bird.
Exactly.
I would love to hear what Colmini thought of this.
Yeah.
That he got picked to be the most important person in history, not Kirk. Not Picard, not Cisco.
It's always about the guy supporting in the background. It's always that guy that's actually doing a lot of the work and getting it done. That's Chief O'Brien.
Yeah. Well, if I had my druthers, I would probably erect one to you because you make us go. Like I said, you get back to your engineering knowledge. Okay, opinions so far. We're 3 episodes in. What do you think of the Starfleet on the? I mean, not Starfleet on the ground.
Oh, it's a good show. That's a really good show.
Lower
Lower Decks. Okay.
Lower Decks. What do you guys think of Lower Decks?
No, seriously, I am loving Lower Decks so much. This episode had the one thing that that just got me the wrong way. It was just the one thing, and I think it's not going to do it very often. But for this episode, I mean, when they're getting boarded and the captain's like, still do your regular jobs, but also repel the boarders too. But get your regular jobs done. That's the priority is completely backwards. You never, ever, ever say that. That was completely against character as far as I'm concerned.
And then it was, if Enterprise could do it, we could do it.
Yeah, that too.
It's called multitasking. They do it on the Enterprise all the time.
Yes,
I mean, I don't mind the It's just like, well, you're getting boarded. You got to repel the boarders. You just drop everything and repel boarders. That's what repelling boarders is all about. You can't sit there and polish the manifolds while you're getting attacked by the graffiti guys.
Hey, there's something to be said for polishing manifolds.
Well, yes, that's true. Like a good shine.
Lower Decks is definitely my new favorite series, I think, out of all of them. It's so freaking funny. I laughed my ass off at the part where Tiana was like, you want me to clean up those disgusting scars? And Mariner's like, no way, these are my trophies. And Tiana's like, congratulations, you look like a fucking scratching post.
Yes, it was great. That's a hell of a compliment from a cat. I mean, goodness, that doctor is like, she's probably one of the better characters.
Yeah.
It's really good. There's some good one-liners and good references to all the other, Trek incarnations. And it's really funny. It's really well done. Really, very smart.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch the Trek Twitter fans out there that you see. And some of them are complaining about it. And they don't like the obvious callbacks and the fan service. Callbacks. But that's the best part of the show. They just work them in there and they don't dwell on it. They just like this, bam, and then keep going. So I'm enjoying the heck out of this show.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, there's going to be people out there to complain. We're unfortunately in the culture right now that unless it's exactly the way a person remembers, you still, if they did it exactly like the original series, it did it exactly like TNG, somebody will complain, how come they didn't update the graphics? How come you're always going to get those people who are going to complain, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have some cat species in them.
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is, if you don't like it so much, why are you still watching it with us?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're entertained, are you taken out of your regular world and do you enjoy, I mean, if you enjoy it so much that you hate this thing, why you keep watching? So,
now,
are you not entertained?
But the thing is, I don't mind that people don't like the show. I don't, because you people get different personalities, different everything. Yeah. I don't mind. What I do mind is that they have to be so vocal and gleeful about it. Like, I really love this show. Really? Because I fucking hate it. This is, well,
then stop watching it. Yeah.
Why even go out that far? It says, well, then what? It's like, I really love hot dogs. Hot dogs are cancer missiles, and I really can't. It's like, what the fuck? Just tell me that you prefer not eating the hot dog. You don't have to go into a dietary that I'm going to die from eating one.
Yeah, they go overboard.
We still have Twitter trolls right now.
Yeah.
One day we won't.
That's true.
But
we're looking forward to it.
The alien species on this, the Gelrakians, the solution at the end was maybe we'll have something something civil and do a trial. Like, no, we'll have a death race. I just loved this. I love that so much.
Build a car out of crystals.
Yeah, I mean, they're big on crystals. They really love their crystals. I mean, they want to mash you to death with a giant crystal. I love it. It's just like they're all in for crystals, and then at the end, like, okay, let's just do a death race. That sounds great. Oh, yeah.
And the only intelligent one, Vindor, is like, let's just have a real trial with a judge, and they're like, no, death race.
I want to go reread my book and stuff, and like, death race.
Mm-hmm.
Now, question for you, Heather. Mm-hmm. Since you're on the assignment, what's the title of next week's homework assignment? What's the next show? Now, I will allow you to pause because you were kidnapped.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. I'll have it for you in a minute.
Through the magic of editing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Really?
Through the magic of editing, it'll take her 3 times as long.
Oh wait, when I type in Lower Decks, it takes me to ships.
You're gonna love the name of the next episode.
Okay, so next episode, episode number 4 is Moist Vessel. Bow chicka wow wow. And that will be preparing on August 27th.
Now, that's going to piss a lot of people off because there are people out there who hate the word moist.
Moist.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. People don't like that word. Like, I never saw a problem with it, but I guess people hate that word.
Giggity, giggity.
No.
Well, I'd rather have a moist vessel than a dry one.
Right? It's always to have a little bit of moisture. You know, it's a good thing.
It's so much more fun fun if it's moist rather than dry. It's
I'm
not cool
telling
when
you,
it's dry.
there's some like it's gonna hurt if it's dry.
It's
You
gonna
know,
hurt.
Yeah, you wear stuff out. You don't want to wear that out.
no, you don't want to wear it out.
Maybe Mariner and number 1 finally got it on.
And he found her moist vessel.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm not going to say anything, but I think one of our guests in the beginning of the series, I'm not sure which one. It wasn't Todd, thankfully, but one of our guests, I think, had a blow-up doll, and I can't be 100% certain because when I went by the guest quarters, I smelled burning rubber. So now that makes sense because there was no moisture. So now I know.
friction is, you want
Yes.
friction, the fun kind of friction, but not the painful kind of friction.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good that we got you back, Heather.
Thank you.
We could not let you go forever. We put additional security and
Yay.
transport inhibitors around your quarters and different
finally,
areas.
I could sleep at night. Yes.
Yeah, so Section 31, unless they figure a way to go on a rotating frequency, because I have a good authority by Rocky that there's not going to be a way to get there. So they might be able to try to beam outside your quarters and try to get in.
Oh,
so
that's
lock
okay.
your doors.
The Tribbles will get them. I have a wall of Tribbles in front of the door.
Gonna say the Tribbles will let them in.
So yeah, really, they might let them in.
The Tribble rolled in, the doors opened up for everybody. You know,
And
they open up for the
besides-
Tribbles.
Now that we know Tribbles eat people, you know.
And just a little trivia that you guys may not know. Commander Corinne was played by Jess Harnell, who was Wacko in Animaniacs.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
And
how
we-
cool is that?
Also have Tom Kenny, SpongeBob.
Ha, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Now, we're coming towards the end of our podcast here. Thank you, everybody, for joining and allowing for us to be crazy. One day we'll sit and talk about the mission we had and what we had to do to get Heather back. But for now, it's classified. I'm going to need to get approval from Starfleet because some of the stuff I did was kind of bit on the gray ops side.
Yeah, I
Make
promise
sh-
my lips are sealed. I will never speak of it, Captain. I promise I will never tell people your secret.
Okay, thank you. And now, everybody, make sure to listen to us. You can find all of our social media accounts taglined on the episode. We're everywhere possibly that you can get podcasts. So thank you for joining us. Please be safe out there. And remember, I'm going to remind you guys every episode until it happens to go out there at this time of frame on Earth in this century is vote. So make sure you vote. Get out there, register your vote, rock your vote. If you're going to do mail-in, make sure you request your ballot and mail it now. Be safe.
Rock the vote, don't rock the vote,
That's
baby.
right, rock your vote. No, so
Just say,
don't hold
rack
your
your
vote
vote.
over.
Rack your vote.
So, yes. Nope. Remember, just don't.
Rappuccino?
Oh, now I want more coffee. Look, now you guys remember, just don't have a great week. Make it so.
Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.